Guys, how we doing? Yeah, I'll just try and, I guess, initially just kind of run through the availability checklist right now. And then, I'll just jump in for any questions I think you guys got. It looks like Marcus and Josh are both going to be out. Again, Marcus had some pain after the Colorado game, and it has not quieted down to the point that was necessary for him to have the ability to play. So likelihood is that he's not going to play at all this week. Same thing for Josh. Josh is a little bit different because he even never got to the point really where it was realistic for this week because he was never able to get back out on the practice floor at all. Marcus had a whole week, prior to Colorado, and there just isn't enough time and too much risk involved for me to ask Josh to play after not having played in over a month. So did not make sense for either of those two guys. Chris Austin was struggling a little bit today with his ankle. He rolled it in that Utah game. So, but we're hopeful that he'll be able to go tomorrow. I think that's all. That's it from that front, from the injury front right now.
Doug, go ahead.
Bobby, just could you tell us how your team has responded since getting back to campus on Saturday, and just how the last couple of days have gone?
Well, I mean, it was a tough locker room, and I shared that with you guys after, and very upset with the group, and so we. Had some soul searching. Certainly, I know that the team talks amongst themselves about that performance. I started getting some information, some intel just about, just multiple guys, going into that game, just not feeling like they have any legs in the game, and again, we had played a bunch of games with like one day in between a lot. And then even to play a night game on Saturday and then on Thursday and then play a noon game on Saturday was a quick turnaround. So we've and knowing coming into this week, if you're going into a tournament, you're supposed to go in there thinking you're going to win the tournament. And if you don't, then you might as well not go. So the best route for us to get here was to not go real physical the last 2 days. Yesterday, we watched some video. We met as a team. Guys had a team meal. Today we had a light practice. And again, we have a couple of film sessions here ahead of us. But overall, I think, Remy seemed to be very positive. Alonzo Verge was talking today in practice more than I probably heard him talk in a while. And so we had some nice things going on, and, outside of course, not feeling great that Marcus and Josh, are not likely this week.
Bobby, with Remy being first team All Pac-12, can you just kind of sum that up as best as you would? And also, he's had so much tournament experience for you. So what do you rely on with him, or the conversations like with him going into this?
Yeah, it's interesting because I know, he can't wait to play in this event. And I think the last time he played in the Pac-12 tournament, we lost in overtime to Oregon in the semifinals. And then ironically, we were supposed to play Washington State last year. They ended up, beating Colorado and advancing. So, he was in good spirits. Certainly, his ability to get hot, and he's proven that this year. Rolling 8 straight games of 20 or more. So you're going to need, him and then some other guys really to get it rolling this week. And, we do have the firepower to do that even without, Josh and Marcus. And then again, just for the year he's had, it's had a tough year. It's been really difficult for him on and off the court. And I think the stretch he put together really solidified that first team honor that he received just by how well he played, over that 8-game stretch.
Yeah, Bobby, my question was going to build on that one. What is first question is the legacy you think that he leaves here at ASU? And number 2, what is going to be your fondest memory of watching him play over the last 4 years, or is there one game or one moment for him that's always going to have a place in your heart?
Well, I think he's been about the right things, and he's and again, if he's like Zylan Cheatham or Lou Dort or Shannon Evans or Trey Holder, the greats that I've coached here, and that you keep identifying players like him, and the program is going to be in good hands, and so that's kind of in the bigger scope of things what he's meant to Arizona State from my point of view. And as far as individual games, I mean, there are so many. The last game against Washington State, just the way he finished his career at Desert Financial, making that shot. The Kansas games, the way he performed early in his career in big moments. He had a really good stretch against Arizona his sophomore and junior year, both at our place and on the road. So there's been a lot of examples of really high level performance in big games, meaningful games. So he's that type of player.
Bobby, I know when you played Washington State, their zone gave you some issues at some times. But you look early at the season, do you feel that overall you did well against the zone, against other opponents, and what happened against Washington State was really more the exception and not the norm?
Yeah, I mean, it's Washington, I think we handled their zone fairly well, and Washington State, we anticipated maybe a little more man defense in that game, but I think we scored like 14 or 15 points really early to start. We got off to a great start, so they switched to it. I after reviewing that game again in preparation for this game, there were some good looks that we're able to get against the zone. We just have to shoot the ball well. We're not the biggest team in the world, so we have to be able to try and stretch the defense out. And if we do that and we can effectively make shots from the perimeter, then I think the penetration gaps will open up some for our guards.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned, the team was feeling tired going to last game, and you gave them a little bit more rest during practice the last two practices. But what else have you done, or what else have they done to maybe get themselves mentally and physically ready for this tournament?
Well, I mean, 2 days ago, our video guy put together a tremendous edit, and it was really good. There was the One Shining Moment video was involved in it to get the guys' juices going. I mean, I had chills every time I hear that song. It means a lot to me, and it was a variety of clips just from just about every guy on our team, and making a shot, making a play. And so, everyone had a chance to sit and enjoy that. Also, I threw in there my shot versus UNLV my sophomore year, and when we won the NCAA championship. So I had to throw that in there as well. So just so there was something for me to have fun with.
Hey, Bobby.
Other than that, it's just been, a lot of skill work. Want these guys feeling well again. We said what we said, and we talked about, it not being acceptable to lose that way, and then once you get that out of your system, you got to move on, and that's what we're doing. So I do feel like I've noticed a positive attitude in practice today, a confident way about the guys, and certainly we're not just here to go take a trip to Vegas. I just don't feel like that's the vibe I'm getting from the team right now.
Hey, Bobby, you mentioned Chris earlier, just with where you guys are at in the front court, kind of limitation wise, how do you feel about how you're going to perform offensively going into this tournament?
I mean, Jalen Graham is going to be a key part of what we're doing, and he's had a very good second half of the year. So hoping that he's ready to put together, a good tournament, and so just keeping him on the floor is going to be very important. Same thing with Kamani Lawrence. He's had some very big games for us. I know he wasn't, at his best in the mountains, but not many guys were. So hopefully we could get him back to playing the way he was, 3 or 4 games prior to our last 2. And that would help things dramatically. And then other guys got to be ready to play. Just, John Olmstead again is going to see action because, again, you want to play 4 straight days and try and win a championship. You got to try and keep the team as fresh as possible as you're trying to win games.
Hey, Bobby. A year ago, you guys obviously didn't play in a Pac-12 tournament game after it was canceled due to COVID before the second round started. What do you just recall from the day you and the team actually found that out, and what were the emotions and conversations like that you had at the time?
Yeah, it was a tough night. Even the night before, we're watching Washington State, Colorado, and trying to figure out who we're playing. But at the same time, you're noticing that other conferences are canceling their tournaments. So we knew it was not looking good. And then, just kind of woke up to knowing that, again, other leagues that were already playing games in the East were shutting it down. And then, we were heading to shoot around, and then we got the word that the tournament was off. So, yeah, it was hard on the players. I remember being in that meeting room, talking, addressing the team, and hearing Caleb Christopher talk about the year and what it meant to him, and Mickey Mitchell and Rob Edwards. So it's just a really tough day, because some teams at the end are not playing well and playing the string out. I think we were on the other side of that. We had been playing the best basketball we had played all season, and had things to play for moving forward. So it was a tough day.
Who else got anything? Guys good? All right.
Thanks, guys.